everybody, and welcome to the fourth instalment of this year's Mystery Blanket Club. We are about to make a start on our May patterns, which means that we're almost halfway through this project. I've got 5 squares for you to knit this month, but before I talk about those squares and show you what you're going to be knitting, I've just got a few things that I'd like to talk to you about, beginning with your second parcel. So I am hoping that you are sitting there with your second part of your kit, which we've been busily packing and getting posted over the past month. We started with the overseas and then we posted the UK. All of them have now been posted. So if you haven't received your parcel yet, it is on its way to you and should be with you very soon. But the good news is that most of the squares in this May instalment, you can continue to knit even if you haven't got your second parcel. You have the yarns from your first kit and beads to knit some of those squares. So you could make a start even if your parcel has not yet arrived, but fingers crossed it will be with you soon. So the first thing that you should really do when you open up your kit, your second part of your kit, is check it off, check the contents off against the list, which is on page 2 of your May Mailout. So there's a list there of the yarns, the beads, anything else that is included, the colour coder, the woven label. Check everything off. If anything is missing, please do let us know straight away by emailing sue@debbieabrahams.com and we will send you what is missing straight away. Hopefully everybody has everything that they should have in their kit. We spent a lot of time and very, very carefully packing those kits for you. But sometimes things do get missed out. And if you have ended up with double of anything, 2 packs of one colour of beads that you shouldn't have, just hang on to it. It's an extra that hopefully at some point in your knitting you'll be able to put to good use. So you'll notice in your knitting kit that there's a lot of new colours in there. There are 4 new colours of my bespoke light wool DK and 4 colours of Rowan and 1 new colour of Lurex too. So there's quite a lot of new colours there. And you'll notice that the colours in the pack are very different to the first pack. So we've moved in this second kit into the sort of second part of the colour palette. We've moved from greens and blues in the first kit now into purples and pinks in the second kit. So there's a whole new load of colours for you to get hopefully really, really excited about. Very vibrant, very bold. And this kit does actually complete now the whole colour palette, the whole kit for your complete blanket. So you have everything you need now to knit this year's blanket. So the 4 new colours that you've got in my bespoke yarn are we've got Spellbound, which is code number 40, a deep purpley indigo-y blue colour. We've got Jupiter, similar in shade, but a tiny bit lighter in shade. Jupiter is code 041, okay. Then we have this very, very vibrant pink called Euphoria. I love this colour. As you can see, I'm wearing pink. I love pink. I love purple too. So this kit is full of all my favourite colours. And this is code 043. And then we have the final colour of my new 4 shades called Sublime 042, a very, very pretty pink. So those are the 4 new shades, plus your 4 yarns. That's an alpaca soft, half a ball of kid silk haze and 2 balls of felted tweed and a cone of Lurex. So loads there, as I said, for you to sort out and add to your colour coder. You have a new second colour coder in your second part of your knitting kit. So do use that to organise your yarns. It would be really helpful when you come to knit your squares, just to be able to identify those colours nice and quickly, bearing in mind that, for example, some of the colours like Spellbound and Jupiter are quite similar in shade. So just make sure that you label them correctly on your colour coder to make your knitting that much easier. Also in your knitting kit, you will find a little envelope, a little coloured envelope, and inside that envelope is the woven label with the title of the mystery blanket on it. So if you haven't guessed it yet and you want to keep it a secret, then don't open that packet. Put it somewhere really safe, and you can open it at the end of the project. If you've guessed what the theme is, and many of you have. In fact, I've been so busy packing parcels and designing lots of new projects that I haven't actually published the blog that I promised with all the correct guesses listed in it, and so I'm going to do that when it's done. It will be on the website. Following on from this blog in a few days' time, I will post that blog with all the correct guesses. Many of you have guessed the title already, so well done to you. But if you're still trying to guess what it is, don't forget to send in all your ideas, suggestions to us at sue@debbieabrahams.com, and we will let you know if you are correct. So on to the squares then for this month's instalment. And as I said earlier, there are 5 squares to knit up. So I'm going to talk you through them, but in the written blog, as always, there are lots of extra tips and bits of advice about the squares. So please do read that after you've listened to my introduction. There's some really important things there which will assist you and guide you through these 5 squares. So we begin with square number 10 called Stargazer. This is a textured stitch which uses 5 different colours in it. So you've got both of your Lurexes, your silver Ghost and your Blue Daisy, and you've also got Baby Blue, Uranus and Tide in there, and it's an all over really pretty textured pattern that it's a really lovely one to knit, that is created by making little star shapes. And if you look on page 6 of your Mailout, in the pattern notes and tips, bullet point number 3, it tells you how to make a star. It's not in the abbreviations at the back of your Mailout, it's on page 6. So do make sure that you take a look at that before you make a start. There is also a tech vid to help you with this stitch. So you've got plenty of guidance, plenty of support to knit your Stargazer square. Your second square you'll be knitting this month is square 23, Starry Starry Night. This square is a variation on an option 2 square that if you've knitted the option 2 squares, you would have previously already knitted. It was the pattern used for Capricorn, and in this month's square I'm about to talk about, Virgo, it's the option 2 for that square too. This is the square that has a variable stitch count. It works with 2 colours which you're alternating across a 4-row repeat. Actually, it's an 8-row repeat, but you've got 2 colours that are alternating every 2 rows. And there's a sprinkling of clear beads as well in there, 98 clear beads. So that's one that everybody's going to be knitting. There's no options for square 23. Building on above square 23, you're going to be knitting square 24, which is Tranquility 3. This is the square that uses Japanese short row shaping, and you knitted this earlier on for square 8 and I believe square 36. I'm just going to check that. Yeah, square 36. So this is a variation in colour, same stripe pattern or thereabouts, very similar. But just watch out because there is a little bit of tiny little accents of the Serenity yarn, that pale lilac. If you look at the square, the image on page 10 of your Mailout, you'll see that on the Silver Ghost sort of lozenge shapes there's just a row of the Serenity. So there's no embroidery on this square. It's not been embroidered. Everything is knitted in on this square. Okay, and everybody's knitting this square because there's no option for it. So you'll all be knitting Tranquility 3. The 4th square this month is square 43 Virgo, and there are 2 options for this square. So it's sitting in the opposite corner at the bottom of the blanket to square 1 Capricorn, and it's the large Intarsia zodiac motif for Virgo. It uses Utopia and Sapphire, There's a chart on page 15 of your May Mailout, and do, as I said earlier, have a read of the written blog, because I will be giving some tips about where to join in yarns, how many bobbins to use, etc. if you're knitting option 1. But if you don't want to knit option 1, you've got that second option, option 2, which begins just over leaf on page 16. This is exactly the same square as option 2 for square 1 Capricorn. So the 5th and final square you'll be knitting this month is square 44 Cosmic 2. Now, if we cast our eye back to the piecing diagram on page 4 of your Mailout, you will see that it looks very similar to square 2, but just watch out because there is a slight difference. The difference being that the baby blue and the cream yarns have been swapped round. Everything else is the same, just that small difference, which makes it Cosmic 2. So those are your 5 squares for May, and I really hope that you enjoy knitting them up. Now, before you grab your knitting needles and make a start on those squares, there's just a few things that I'd like to tell you about, beginning with this cowl that I'm wearing. So this is the Fraggle Rock cowl recoloured. I released it in sort of very pale sandy blue, pale blue colours several months ago now. And this is a design, this is the same design, but recoloured in using blacks, greys and creams. It's inspired by my trip to Hell Bay, where I've tutored several really wonderful knitting holidays over the years. This version, as you can see, has some bright neon embroidery. I adore neon. I love neon shades, especially on blacks and whites. I think it really brings a project to life. But if neon isn't for you, then there is a version that has no neon on it. The neon is embroidered, so it makes it optional. There's a kit that you can opt for that has no embroidery on it, if you would prefer not such a bright, in-your-face colourway. Okay, but this is my favourite. I love neon. Okay, so that's on sale now in our online shop, and we're also doing a bit of a cowl promotion, so you can grab yourself a little bit of a bargain if you pop over to our shop and take a look at our kits that we've got on offer at the moment. Now, from today, we are adding those 4 new colours in my bespoke light wool DK. That's the Spellbound, the Jupiter, the Sublime, and the Euphoria yarns. All those 4 are going to be added to our online shop. So if you like those colours I showed you, if you want more, if they're in your kit, if you like them, you think I've got to have more of this yarn, it's available to buy, added to the other 5 bespoke colours from your 2024 mystery blanket kit, and it's also knits up beautifully with my bespoke merino light DK yarn, of which there are 7 colours. So there's a whole load of yarn there now that will all knit up beautifully together. Knits to the same tension as felted tweed. So do pop along and have a look at that. We've got some bundle offers on that as well. So something to add to your stash if you fancy a bit of a yarn purchase. If you didn't sign up for our mystery baby blanket club, the one that started in 2023 and has just recently finished, then the good news is that the kit will be on sale in our shop very soon. We're going to be adding it to our shop this month and taking pre-orders for it, with kits being sent out towards the end of May. There's 2 colourway options for this. There's a grey colourway option and a pink one. So make sure that when you place your order, you select the colour that you would like to order. And finally, I'm thrilled to let you know that I've jumped back on board with the wonderful Stitchtopia team and will be running a knitting holiday with them to County Kerry in Ireland in October 2025. If you're not aware of Stitchtopia and what they do, they run amazing craft holidays. And I used to run events with them, holidays with them, years ago. I did some fabulous trips, including a Norwegian cruise, a trip to Assisi, Carcassonne, the Shetland Islands, Umbria in Italy, to name but a few. So these are wonderful, wonderful trips. If you are interested in a week-long visit to Ireland with me as your tutor, then do pop over to their website and take a look at the holiday on there. There's loads and loads of different holidays there. They've really expanded all the places that they're going to. But if you want to join me, that would be absolutely super. You don't book through us, you book directly through Stitchtopia. So pop along to their website if you fancy a trip to Ireland next year. Okay, so it's time for me to sign off and for you to make a start on your May squares. Don't forget to read the written part of the blog. As I said, lots of important information in there to help you with your squares. Have a wonderful month. I won't see you again until the beginning of July, but do make sure that you come back to the blog to read the written blog for June on June the 1st. Until then, take care, everybody. Have a fabulous month, and I'll see you in a couple of months' time. Bye-bye.